We live in the age of the spectator. The world is drowning in noise. Open your phone, and you are screamed at by a million experts. Financial gurus who have never gone bankrupt. Relationship coaches who are single. Business consultants who have never signed the front of a paycheck, only the back. They offer you maps to territories they have never visited. And if you follow them, you will walk off a cliff while they watch from the safety of the sidelines. Today, we are drawing a line in the sand. We are separating the philosophers of ink from the philosophers of blood. We are exploring why it is not just foolish, but dangerous, to take advice from a man with no scars. The ancient Greeks understood this distinction better than we do. Aristotle, the father of logic, categorized knowledge into two types, Sophia and Phronesis. Sophia is theoretical wisdom. It is book smarts. It is knowing how a combustion engine works on paper. Phronesis is practical wisdom. It is the mechanic who can diagnose a broken engine by the sound of the hum. Aristotle argued that you cannot learn phronesis in a classroom. He said, "For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them. You become a builder by building. You become a harpist by playing the harp. You cannot think your way into a skill." Confucius, the great Eastern sage, echoed this centuries later. "I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand." Why does this matter? Because the brain of the spectator is wired differently than the brain of the gladiator. Neuroscience calls this experience-dependent plasticity. When you actually perform an action, when you risk failure, when you feel the adrenaline, when you suffer the consequences, your brain physically changes structure. It builds dense neural pathways that a theorist simply does not have. The theorist has information. The practitioner has instinct. Jean-Paul Sartre, the existentialist, took it even further. He argued that existence precedes essence. This means you are defined only by your actions, not your thoughts. You can sit in a room and theorize about being brave for 10 years. But the moment you step outside and run from a fight, you are a coward. Your theory means nothing. Your action is the only truth. So, why do we listen to the talkers? Because they sound safe. They speak in perfect sentences. They have perfect theories, because their theories have never collided with reality. Nassim Taleb calls this the problem of skin in the game. The bureaucrat who designs a policy that destroys a city does not lose his job. He has no skin in the game. The general who sends troops to die from an air-conditioned tent does not bleed. When you take advice from someone without skin in the game, you are taking all the risk, while they get all the prestige. If a man tells you how to invest, ask to see his portfolio, not his degree. If a man tells you how to live, look at his life. Is he happy? Is he strong? Or is he just a librarian of other men's deeds? Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, spent his life on the borders of the empire, fighting wars in the mud. He wrote in his meditations, "Stop talking about what a good man is like, and just be one." He didn't debate ethics in a lecture hall. He practiced them on the battlefield. There is a danger in listening to the armchair quarterback. The man who has never been punched in the face thinks fighting is like a movie. He will give you advice that will get you killed. He doesn't know the chaos. He doesn't know the speed. He doesn't know the fatigue. The map is not the territory. The blueprint is not the building. And the advice of a man who has never failed is worthless. You must curate your counsel. This is the filter. Has this man stood where I am standing? Has he lost what I am afraid to lose? Has he built what I am trying to build? If the answer is no, treat his words as noise. If the answer is yes, listen, even if he speaks poorly, even if he is rough, because his wisdom is bought with pain, and that is the only currency that matters. Do not be a tourist in your own life, relying on the guidebooks of people who have never left their houses. Go out, make the mistakes, Get the scars. Build the phronesis. The only advice worth taking comes from the man who is standing in the arena, covered in dust and sweat and blood, striving valiantly. Everything else is just words. Most people will click away. They prefer the comfort of the lie. If you are still here, you are one of the few who values the scar over the theory. We are building a council of the scarred. If that is you, join us.